Two parents from Hong Kong are suing an education consultant here in the U.S. because they paid him millions of dollars to make sure that their two sons got into an Ivy League school. They were specifically trying to get their children into Harvard. However, after one of their sons applied to the university, it turns out he didn't get accepted, and now they feel as though they've been duped. So they hired a gentleman by the name of Mr Zimny, and he said that he was a Harvard professor and that he was well connected. Later on, they found out he was really just an assistant professor, and that he was also a lecturer, but his career at Harvard ended years ago and he had no ties to the university, so they felt that they were lied to. Also, Zimny told them, you know, give me $1 million for each of your sons and I will donate it to the university, and once they see that, you know, you've made those donations, they'll be more likely to admit your children into our schools. Well, it didn't happen.
That's awesome.
Now, I should note that their sons did get into Ivy League schools. None of the reports specify which schools they got into.
Outrage! I can't believe they'd only go to Princeton and not Harvard. I'm suing. Okay, now, but they got there through their own efforts, obviously, and not because of the $1 million donations. Well, did they really give them $1 million? $1
million each student.
Oh.
Yeah.
But see,
they actually paid more than that, because that was the donation part of it, like donating to the school. But they also paid about $8,000 a month, $4,000 for each student, to do like these, you know, ridiculous strategies, test preps, things like that.
So this story takes a couple of twists and turns. In that, look, they obviously care a lot about their kids, right? I mean, they're parents who care and who want their kids to get a good education. On the other hand, they feel like, well, we're entitled to Harvard, so by hook or by crook, whatever it takes, we're just going to buy our way into it.
I'm torn on this story for a number of different reasons, right? Because on one hand, you have, you know, these people who seem so incredibly entitled with their money. Like, what do you mean? We have money. Of course we can buy our son's way into college. Like, I'm sure they expect him to work hard, but it's kind of like, the rules don't apply to us kind of mentality, which really bothers me. But then on the other hand, these people are not from the United States, okay? They don't know people in the United States. They're not connected to the United States. They're living in Hong Kong, and they want a better future for their sons. And maybe they don't really understand completely how the system works here. I think that, no, hold on, listen. Let me just clarify. Look at the way our American politics works, right? Mm-hmm. You can buy whatever the hell you want. So for people living in other countries, is it that ridiculous to assume that they would think like, yeah, if you want something in America, you just buy it?
Well, that's a very interesting point. But on the other hand, it's not like these are like poor folks living in Hong Kong like, golly gee, we don't know what's happening. They've apparently got a couple of $1 million to throw away, at least, right? So they're fairly, my guess is they're fairly sophisticated. And there's some chance they think, well, in Hong Kong, we can buy whatever we want. Maybe it'll be the same in America. So
no, but they're sophisticated enough to know that in our political system, you can buy whatever you want. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I understand that, and that's a fair point. But here, it has an amusing twist. I mean, in order to go try to get the money back, you have to say, yeah, I was trying to bribe somebody. I was trying to buy my way into a school, and I was doing something incredibly wrong, but can I please get my money back? It's like the idiots who go to the cops and say, hey, I gave that prostitute money for sex, but she won't give it back to me. Okay, great, you're under arrest. Right? Yeah.
I'd like to take a different angle, and maybe a familiar one that I've done before. It's amazing how Harvard, first off, gets enough people to believe that it's worth this much to try and get your kids in. From all over the world, they've been convinced that, oh my God, Harvard is this place you're supposed to give some random guy $2 million to give us more of your money just to get your kids in. If I come up with some kind of scheme to get people to give me so much money that other people across the world want to give another auxiliary person so much money to get them to give me more money, this is awesome. This is the biggest scam in the world.
That's Harvard. The real scam. This is a minor scam. The scam Harvard's running is the real scam.
Yep.
And by the way, you can tell why the kids didn't get in. It's a genetic problem. Look at how dumb their parents were.